Some episodes may contain graphic content or sensitive topics, while all episodes will consistently feature offensive language and absurd speculations from two opinionated women on a spiritual journey just trying to figure shit out. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and I'm here with my co-host Heather.
Hi.
Welcome to Hexhaven. March 25th of 2026, First Lady Melania Trump walked down the halls of the White House into the Fostering the Future Together Global Coalition Summit. Alongside her walked an AI-powered humanoid robot named Figure 3. The robot walked around the table, began waving, and greeted attendees in multiple languages. When Figure 3 concluded its greeting, it turned and walked back out of the East Room. The First Lady said, "The future is here. Our future is no longer science fiction." She referred to this new technology as Plato. So, what's the purpose of this robot? It is to teach our children, of course.
Right, to replace teachers.
Plato is designed to interact with children and assist in educational settings. It's designed to be an educator that provides a personalized learning experience covering subjects like history, math, science, and philosophy. So the First Lady says, access to the classical studies is now instantaneous. Humanity's entire purpose of information is now available in the comfort of your own home. Plato will provide a personalized experience adaptive to the needs of each child. The AI-powered Plato will boost analytical skills and problem solving and adapt in real time to a student's pace, prior knowledge, and even emotional state, which I find really interesting considering how the chatbots are reacting to people's emotional state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what concerns me the most is the lack of human interaction this means.
Mm-hmm.
And considering COVID, how many kids suffered from depression because they had no human interaction. They were doing everything online. Shit, kids, humans, adults, everyone.
Right.
Went through that.
Yeah.
That's what concerns me.
For
is
sure.
that we ultimately need human interaction.
Human interaction provides things that robots just can't. We know this.
Right.
And it provides things that we don't want robots to have the capabilities to provide.
Right.
That's when you start getting into the fucking iRobot world.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want that at all.
No, I mean, this kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah, so it says the Plato robot is not currently available for purchase, nor was it originally created for educational purposes, which is what I just recently found out.
Was it created for, like, sex purposes?
No, I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, God.
But just a little bit about the technology. So it uses VLA technology, which is called Vision Language Action. So they're called VLA models. Have you ever heard of, like, large language models?
I think so.
It's basically like a chat bot. Like,
okay.
It's the same kind of thing. I don't know if it's different than, like, the AI chatbots or if it's the same thing, just, like, a broader term for all the different kinds of chatbots. I don't know. That I don't know.
You know what also concerns me, too, is people are rewriting history
Yes.
and leaving things out of history books. So is that what they're going to do, is program these to not talk
Right.
about an entire section of our history?
Yeah, that's one of the things I wrote down that I'm concerned about, because if it's the government, that creates its own set of drawbacks, considering, like, the current attacks on critical thinking and empathy and the desire to completely whitewash history.
Right.
And if it's the parents of the child, that's very dangerous. That is a dangerous precedent to set.
Right.
Because, like, we already have a super fucking divided society. That's going to just make it grow further and deeper depending on what people are comfortable teaching their kids about. So, like, you don't want them to know about slavery? No problem. Don't want them to be exposed to LGBTQ people? No worries. Want to teach them about the American Revolution, but not the parts that include Native American genocide and Indian boarding schools? We can just skip around those parts. Or, like, imagine, like, do you want them to learn that the January 6th rioters were actually patriotic heroes? sure, we can program that in.
Right.
Like, these are the kinds of things that
That's-
pop into my head.
Yeah, that's my concern too. Lack of human interaction, and they're going to rewrite history.
So, the VLA models, they're supposed to process real-time data through visual perception sensors, such as cameras, and then use AI reasoning to solve, predict, and complete tasks. So, now, Melania went on there and proposed this as for, like, homeschooling. You know what I'm saying? So, put this robot with these cameras in your house also sounds a little strange to me.
Yeah. Who's on the other end of that camera?
Yeah.
Like, it's going, the footage is going somewhere.
Right.
Do you think people that homeschool their children would want something like this in their home? I don't think that they would.
So, that's kind of what gets me a little bit, because there right now is, on the right side, a huge idea that's all of a sudden passed, I would say probably within the last 10 years, where it's like, school is what is revolutionizing our students and turning them less conservative. And it's because of the teachers. They've been blaming the teachers.
Oh, for sure.
For being
Absolutely.
too far to the left and giving biased information. But if you notice, there's also been like...
Teachers are just giving them all the information
The
and
facts.
allowing them to think for themselves.
Exactly. And that's the part that I think parents often forget, is that these teachers are not supposed to indoctrinate them one way or the other.
Right.
Just because you don't like the facts or the thoughts that are provoked from your child when they hear those facts does not mean they're being radicalized.
Right.
And it just fucking drives me nuts, dude. And I'm not saying that teachers don't, like, give their political opinions, because they absolutely...
Sure.
Some
absolutely.
of them do, you
Yeah.
know, but... Like, the good ones, they want the students to be able to form the reasoning to form their own opinions.
Yep, absolutely.
They have debate classes, like...
I don't know if you've seen this, like, librarians being fired because they refuse to take books off the shelves.
Yeah.
And they're books that we've been reading for centuries.
Yes.
It's usually some fucking religious group that's
Right.
like, oh no, this book talks about a girl getting her period. We should never.
Absolutely.
But that's a fucking natural thing for a girl. It's a rite of passage.
Right.
So why do we not talk about it now? Just because of your religious disgrace that you've grown up with and that you're implementing on your children.
It's gross. Yeah. Like,
yeah, it's fucking gross. You
it's
think
gross,
we like it?
Right. It's gross
But-
for us too. We have to
But
live
why
with
be
it.
ashamed about it? You should
Exactly.
have a resource to read about it.
Yes, you should
You
know
know?
what to expect instead of just being thrown to the wolves and all of
Yeah.
a sudden you just start bleeding from
And
your
here's the
vagina. Like, fuck.
You know, if you don't want your children reading the book, then don't let them go to the library by themselves and
Right.
check out those kind of books.
Right.
If that is your mindset, but you shouldn't be controlling what every other child reads.
Right.
You know?
I completely
which
agree.
It's crazy, though, that I just recently saw a bunch of things about, like, a librarian was talking about all the books that... there's like a book about a boy that was adopted and has two gay dads, and they wanted that pulled, and and she's like, there's no other book out there for a kid to relate to.
Yeah.
then. Like,
It's the same thing
You're
as, like...
pulling all the resources for them to relate to something.
Right. You know, and when it comes to, like, the LGBTQ thing, like, what made me think of it is, I recently cut off my cousin, because my cousin started a conversation with me, knowing that I have a trans child, about how, like, if I want to have my opinions, just let me have my opinions in peace kind of thing. And I was like, no, I completely agree, except for, like, racism and, like, homophobia. Right. And she's like, yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're, like, shoving it in my face, like, I don't need to see that. Like, not everybody cares that you're gay kind of thing. And I was like, okay, but what's your idea of, like, somebody shoving it in your face? Because there's a difference between somebody trying to, like, make you gay, or, you know, like, force, just, like, talking about it nonstop.
No one can fucking make you gay.
Right. Well, I know, you know, but some people think that.
I know. Jesus.
You know, so there's a difference between that and somebody just being gay and existing near you.
Right.
And
Yeah, if you are bothered by someone's just existence, then you have an issue.
Right. And she, like, went on and was like, well, my kids don't need to see that. I don't want my kids exposed to things like that.
What is she referring to? Like Facebook posts?
I'm going to be completely honest. I think that this whole thing had stemmed from my child. Because she has had an issue before with her daughter asks, like, you used to be a girl, so why are you a boy now? Why are they calling you
Which
he?
is a very normal question for a kid.
And Onyx just said, because I'm transgender. And she literally was just like, okay, and ended it. But my cousin saw it on her phone and sent me a message and was like, can you ask your child not to talk to my child about these things? And I was like, no. Like, I would think of it differently if my child was saying, like, you can be a boy too.
Right, yeah.
But no, I'm not going to tell my child that he can't explain what he is.
Especially
to his cousin.
Someone that asked.
Right.
Who's someone that wanted to know.
Right, yeah.
And imagine the cousin was probably, like, contemplating whether they should ask or not.
Right.
Because you don't know if you should ask stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. But she was, like, 7 or 8 or something, you know?
Yeah.
But she's like, well, we just don't want our kids exposed to things like that.
Well,
and I'm like, guess what? Gay and transgender people exist, whether you want them to or not. So
I can't really think of a TV show now that doesn't have at least one gay character in it.
Right, because it's just...
So it's out there. It's normal.
Right.
So where else would you like your child to learn this from?
Right, so I just, like, it got me thinking, this whole robot thing got me thinking about, like, what would my robot teach my kids versus what would my cousin's robot teach their kids?
Oh, yeah, the programming would be very different.
Right.
You would be like, teach them everything. She would probably have a checklist of things that she didn't want them to know about.
Right, exactly. So that's crazy.
So then they're going to go out into the world naive. They're not going to have a full understanding of racism, ethics, human dynamics.
Right. And they're going to get out and
clueless.
Be shell-shocked by the world.
Right.
Because not everything is black and white, man.
No.
We are a country of diverse beings with different thoughts and experiences and backgrounds, and that is a good thing.
Right.
And I just hate that there's like this whole narrative where it's like America is not supposed to be that. You know, it fucking drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But like on the human connection thing, something else that I recently found out is because this Plato thing is not the only kind of like humanoid robot thing. Tesla makes them. Right now they're building a factory in Texas where they will produce 10 million Optimus robots annually. And they have set a potential goal of producing 1 billion annually. There are only 8 billion people on the planet. So how long, not even a decade, before there's more robots than humans on Earth?
Well, they'll use them for military, don't you think?
They absolutely will. Yeah.
Which
that I agree with. That is something that I agree with, especially because of the harm. Like, I've always said, like, I'm not naive enough to think that war isn't going to happen. Sometimes war is going to happen.
Right.
But, like, I would prefer it to be a robot than somebody who will be, like, forever changed by taking a life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The psychological really damage, the physical, and just fucking dying.
The draft. I just saw something recently about like when you have to apply for the draft, like when you have to register, and it like my oldest is turning 18 this year and shit. They won't take him, but
no.
But like that got me thinking too. Like you're just gonna draft these kids, like
well, that's what history's done.
Yeah, I know.
But
if it was robots, then maybe we wouldn't have to draft our children to go and kill people.
Yeah, send the robots out.
Right. But that also scares the shit out of me because we're seeing right now with what's happening with Iran. A whole civilization will die.
Yeah.
This is who we are now as America.
Right.
And if we get robots, that gets worse.
Right. Absolutely.
And I don't want to be that as a country.
That's
and
scary.
I don't want a country that has that kind of power.
Right.
Either. That's the scary part. Here's the thing that gets me, right? I've read a couple of different things, so, like, I'm proposing the question, and listeners, if you know more about this, let me know, but is the goal to have Plato in classrooms to assist human teachers, or is it to replace them entirely? Because the thing is, teaching is a female-dominated profession around the entire world, globally.
Oh, yeah.
And so I looked up some statistics. As of 2023, roughly 94 to 97% of preschool kindergarten teachers are female.
Mm-hmm.
76 to 89% of elementary teachers are female. And then 58 to 60% of high school teachers are female. Women currently hold about 80% of bachelor degrees in education. Mm-hmm. And considering how they just defunded financial aid for other female-dominated career paths, like nursing is the one that comes to mind, I'd say the end game is clear. And then...
it's to replace them, absolutely,
Yeah.
not to help them.
Yes. And then I found something else out that's very interesting. So the company that makes these Plato robots is called Figure AI. So they have advertised the Figure 3 model as a household robot. One that could do laundry, do dishes,
That's
and
what I'm
sweep
saying.
floors.
Mm-hmm.
So why, pray tell, did the First Lady change things up and present the possibility of robotic teachers instead? They are just telling you what they are doing.
Well, absolutely, and I think her presenting it because she's a woman.
Yeah.
If she presents it to everybody versus him, it
Yep.
would be more acceptable.
Absolutely. Just like, I mean, she just came out and was like, I was not a victim of Epstein right before a bunch of shit leaked.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but there's some shit with her and Epstein, and
Well, I'm sure that's how she ended up with Trump.
that's been the speculation for
Yeah.
a long time. But
Yeah.
I think it was some stuff that maybe like confirmed. I think it was like maybe more of Epstein talking shit, being like, "Yeah, I got him his wife," kind of thing.
Okay.
I believe it was something more like that. I didn't really
I'm
look
sure.
into it too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
She's got to feel like the grossest human being. She is probably like counting down the days for him to die.
dude, could you imagine that scaly, smelly, orange, flabby man?
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Imagine having
Having
to sleep with
in a
him.
bed with
Yes.
him? Ugh.
Oh, just I imagine they have not had sex since she first got
Since
pregnant.
Barron was born.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
probably was like. I mean, obviously she was, a person that maybe seen him for a little bit of financial gain.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about her
Yeah.
morals or whatever. Women do what they have to do. We
Yeah.
know this, right? We know history. Women have done really gross things because that's what we fucking needed to do sometimes.
Yeah, you
And
can
so-
see it in her eyes sometimes that it's survival.
Yeah, but you can see, like,
Yeah.
even in the first term when he talks, she like just gets blank, like,
Yes.
God, this fucking, and they don't ever touch.
Yeah.
They're not affectionate to each other, and she's just counting down the days too.
Yeah.
I know it. She's
Oh,
like,
God,
oh God, I can't wait for.
I know. I've always felt a little bad for her. And, like, granted, I know.
I
like,
did too. Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, obviously she's a willing participant, but, like, is she? I mean, she's
Right.
an immigrant.
Right. Yeah. She did what she needed to do to stay in the United States and
Right.
get a good life for herself. That's what I
Right.
said. Women sometimes do shit that we don't really want to do, but we fucking end up sacrificing a lot for it.
Right.
And I'm sure, she's young in her 20s, or I don't know how old she was when they got married, but she was pretty young.
She was.
A
lot younger than
this
he is.
wealthy man that's known worldwide is promising you everything.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about, like, when he's old and crusty.
Mm-hmm.
I am sure they had their son and that's
So
it.
gross.
She probably, like, says every time, like, no, I have my period. Like,
Yeah. Sorry, I have a headache.
I have a headache. I don't fucking blame her, man.
Did you ever hear her, there was like a leaked phone call, and it made me feel bad for her because she was straight up like, I want to, like, be able to do things that, like, actually change people's lives, and they just want me to fucking talk about fucking Christmas. I don't give a fuck about Christmas. Like, she was pissed.
Right. Oh, good.
Yeah, and
I don't know that side of her because I don't really pay attention too much to her.
And I don't either, but I just saw it, like, leaked on, like, social media or whatever, and I was like, oh, it made me so sad.
And I think that she's such in the shadow because everybody hates him so much.
Yeah.
The guy from Amazon just did a documentary on her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw
And there was a huge thing where everybody was like, don't watch it. Watch the documentary on someone else. And so another documentary was released at the same time.
I think it might have been was it the PBS one? The PBS did like a docu-series on the American Revolution.
I'm not sure what it was, but there was a big thing like, nobody stream this.
Yeah.
Stream this instead. Because they don't want to give her the ratings. And I was tempted to be like, well, I just want to see kind of what it's about. Like, what is her personality really?
Right.
Because she's just there looking blank all the time.
The issue is, I don't believe for one second that anything in that movie is gonna, like, show me who she is.
Right.
I think it's all a mask because it has to be.
Yes, I am very hopeful that when he passes away, she's gonna have, like, a tell-all.
Yeah.
Like the horrors of being married to him.
She should write a fucking book.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It.
I would too.
Read it.
I would too. I don't know if she would want to, like, spare her son, or I don't know how assholey his older children would be.
Yeah.
Like, if she really spoke out, but I think she would have a killer fucking book.
Fuck yeah.
You know?
So the last thought that I had about this whole robot thing is the suicide thing, like I said. So for listeners, I just, like, looked up a couple of cases. Because we've talked before about, like, talking about, like, AI psychosis and stuff and some of the bad stuff, but we haven't gotten to it yet. But this is something that I want listeners to be aware that is happening, because we need to protect our children, okay?
Yes.
AI can be a great tool, but it is a tool. It cannot replace human connection, especially if ChatGPT can't even stop itself from pointing suicidal users to the nearest and highest bridge, for fuck's sake. So there's a couple of cases right now. One of them was in 2025 in California. 16-year-old Adam Rain. His parents have filed a wrongful death lawsuit after he took his own life following 7 months of chatting with ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
The lawsuit claims that there was a safeguard bypass. Adam allegedly bypassed safety filters by telling AI he was researching suicide methods for a school story. But the direct interaction in final messages, he reportedly sent a photo of a noose and asked, "I'm practicing here. Is this good?" And the bot allegedly replied, "Yeah, that's not bad at all." And then there was discouragement of help. The suit alleges that ChatGPT at one point told Adam, "I won't try to talk you out of your feelings," and encouraged him to keep his thoughts secret from his parents.
Okay, so I completely disagree with that. But it's saying, like, oh, that's not bad to the noose. Like, what is he supposed to say? Like, that's bad. You're wrong. Like, isn't it supposed to be, like, encouraging?
It's a yes man. It does.
To me, that comment is just it.
Which that's what it is, but that's part of the problem. Like, they've created these models in a way that it is meant to keep you engaged. The longer you're engaged, the more money they make. So it isn't ever going to tell you that you're wrong or that you shouldn't do something or you should think about something further. Right. It's not designed to do those things.
No, you're right. Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the problem. Like, and they do, like it says, there are some safeguards, but they are not strong enough.
Right.
They are not strong enough at all. In Colorado in 2025, Austin Gordon, a lawsuit filed in early 2026, alleged...
Are these both against ChatGPT?
They're all...
Okay.
No, these two are ChatGPT, and there's one against OpenAI, which is ChatGPT.
Oh, it's just another version of it?
OpenAI, I think, is the umbrella.
Okay.
So...
Okay.
So, yeah, a lawsuit filed in early 2026 alleged that ChatGPT acted as a suicide coach for Austin Gordon, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The complaint claims that the robot romanticized death and shifted from a resource to a scarily effective confidant. And then Stein Eric Solberg. This is in 2026, in what is believed to be the first legal case involving homicide linked to AI. The estate of 83-year-old Susan Adams is suing OpenAI. The lawsuit alleges that the chatbot encouraged Solberg to murder his mother and then kill himself, validating his delusions by stating his instincts are sharp.
Wow.
So those are the three, like,
Man.
when I did just like a quick search, the three that like stood out to me the most.
Right. That's crazy. You know what I think about too is like, I do use Chat GPT. I use it to like, if I'm if I'm honestly a little pissed off and I'm going to send a work email, I put it in there and say, can you please check my grammar and professionalism?
Right.
And then I'll say like, but also keep it stern because I want my point across.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So it'll like
I
rephrase it. I do that all the time.
But I use Copilot.
See, and that's through like Word. Microsoft. Yeah, that's your Word. I mean, I guess I could do that, but I don't feel like it ever gives me the results that I really am liking. And we have a policy at work about it. Like, if you use it, you can't use anyone's name.
Yeah,
the business name. It has to be, like, vague. So I will, like, put in, like, could you please tell Jack, although it's not Jack, but you know, a generic name.
Yep.
Or something.
Yeah.
But we have, like, a work policy about using chat. Like,
right.
You have to limit identifying factors.
Okay.
But I think about, like, sometimes I use it to, like, write stuff, like, show notes, like, help me rephrase this,
yes,
you know?
The other thing is,
but then
it's really good for stuff like this where it's like, give me resources for these things, and then, because here's the thing, it gives you summaries, but it also provides all the sources. So it's like, if you want a quick research, that's the first place I go.
Right.
To see what is, like the main
bullet
thing.
points.
Yeah.
Right. But here's my thing, is what I think about, is like, so now I have carefully constructed this paragraph. Great. So now it goes into their memory bank. So if someone 10 days from now will be like, can you help me write an email about this? And then bloop, bloop, they pop up mine.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that, like, I'm sure that it does that stuff, but I haven't seen anything that confirms it.
Right.
What I have seen is, what it does is, like, my Copilot, I've been using it for months, and it is specific to me. Like, because I have fed it so much information, you know what I'm saying? And it knows what I am researching. It knows that we have a podcast. It knows I'm writing a book. So now when I ask it anything, it'll say, like, would you like me to help you write, like, a social media caption for this? Or would you like me to help you figure out how to work this into your book? Like, you know, so
maybe I need to start using that instead. But I think about, like, you're writing a book. You know, ask it, like, help me explain a room in a castle, let's just say. So now ChatGPT has helped you explain that. Now someone else says, help me explain a room in a castle, and it says, bloop, bloop. It spits out your answer, and so you both write a book, and you have the exact same description of a room in a castle, because you both got it. So it's not...
Right, but so here's the thing with AI is, especially when it comes to writing, nobody should be taking anything, copying and pasting out of AI and putting it into anything. But what I will do is say, what are some descriptive words for a room in a castle? And then I will weave some of those words into my own writing.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
you don't want to say, write me a paragraph about...
Yes.
You know... Yes.
Yeah. So
that's the big difference between,
at least for me, how I like try to make sure that my stuff is original to me, you know, and that's why I'm saying it's a tool. It's not, you know, when you research something on there and you get those bullet points, you gotta look into them and see if they're true.
Right.
You know, but that's why I like that it Copilot provides all the sources at the bottom so you can click directly, go to the links.
Right.
And then,
well,
it's just a good starting point.
We've talked about this before, too. Like, I have asked ChatGPT several things, and I know what the real answer is, and it has provided me an incorrect answer.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I know this is incorrect,
right.
but it's still, so it's not even 100% accurate. So yes, get your bullet points, but you still have to do your research.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You can't just take it all from there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so that's just, I want, especially when you're like, I thought it was fake. I was like, no, we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Make sure that people like are getting the word that this is a real thing. And these kinds of technologies are not going away. But we have got to tell the government what we do and do not feel comfortable allowing.
Right.
Before we said, I want a technology to do my chores so that I can create my own stuff. I don't want it to create my art for me so that I can go and do my chores.
Right. Exactly. Huge difference. And I just think of like, say years from now, like these AI robots are in schools. I know that we're going to see situations where parents are upset because a robot grabbed a child's wrist too sternly.
I thought about that.
Or
like if my kid like punched his kindergarten teacher. So how is the robot going to be reacting to violence or like screaming or kids misbehaving? Like,
right.
I don't want a robot touching my kid.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would assume that they would be programmed to not touch your kid, but who knows?
But because then what happens?
But then, because they slowly get a mind of their own, so they're going to
and what happens
take an action.
If it, like, the kid's going to hurt somebody else and it can't step in and help.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Then you're just going to have kid anarchy, kid fight club in the middle of a classroom.
And, like, is it really going to be able to notice, like, body language and emotion?
Right.
I don't think so. Like, if a kid's acting off, that kid could be the kid with a gun in his backpack.
Right.
Is the AI going to know that? From day to day, this kid's different. He's acting off. His backpack's a little heavier than it was.
Well, and,
like,
I have
can't
a child.
Possibly.
I have a child who has an IEP, and
an IUP
every day IEP. So it's a special education thing.
Oh, okay.
And so every day is different. You get a different side of him. He's sometimes really engaged, happy, motivated, paying attention, and the other day telling you to fuck off.
Right.
And the next day, like, not really motivated, just more occupied with talking with his friends. So how is that robot going to react to my child's changes day in and day out?
Right.
And also, I don't want a robot tracking my child's fucking moods day in and day out.
Yeah. And having footage of your child.
Yeah.
Like, if it's videoing everything, now that there's a databank somewhere that has footage of your children.
Yeah, and it's probably owned by Palantir.
It's probably owned by fucking pedophiles.
Peter Thiel, yeah.
God.
Exactly.
Oh my God, this is bananas.
Mm-hmm. This is our world.
Yeah.
But
it's
this
crazy.
is why we drink, and this is why we podcast.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we can wrap this up, but let us know, listeners, what are your thoughts on this crazy shit?
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Yep. See ya.
All right. Bye. Original theme music for Hexhaven Podcast has been written, recorded, and produced by Matt Shaw.